I'm Kelly Jennings, CEO of PowerBand Solutions. PowerBand is a cloud-based provider of auction, inventory, and finance solutions that make buying, selling, and financing vehicles more efficient. PowerBand Solutions trades on the TSX Venture Exchange symbol PBX. For more information, please visit us at powerbandsolutions.com.
Welcome to the Goddard Report. Comments made on the Goddard Report and TalkDigitalNetwork.com are an expression of opinion only. Here is Jim Goddard.
My guest is Sharon Noble, Director of the BC Coalition to Stop Smart Meters. Welcome back to the show, Sharon.
Thank you so much, Jim.
First question we always ask is, has anybody from the NDP government reacted yet to your fire report or any of the other concerns you have raised about smart meters?
And my answer, sadly, is the same as it has been. No. Nobody. Not one response. And I've asked, I don't remember if I told you this last time, but it's been several months now that I've been asking BC Hydro and the BC Utilities Commission for a financial report showing how much in opt-out fees they've collected since September of 2012 and where that money is being spent. I believe they have collected close to $30 million. And I can't get a financial report. It's not included in their annual report. Also, I've asked how many smart meters have been replaced, because we know that their life expectancy is 5 to 7 years, and no one will give me that answer. So I'm still trying, but they're still refusing to provide it. They're telling me it's none of my business.
Have you filed any Freedom of Information requests on it?
Oh, yeah. And sadly, the Commission that handles the Privacy and Freedom of Information Act does not get into this sort of stuff. Their only concern is if you got a response. They don't care whether the response is relevant, or they just tell you, here's your answer, here's your blank sheet. They don't care. The only thing that they can argue with or follow up on is whether you got a response. So it's really a sham. There is no freedom of information in British Columbia. No one forces them to give you this information.
You have word that a Seattle lawyer is suing over smart meters. Can you tell us what's going on there?
Yes. He's an activist lawyer. He's been involved in things like pesticide and things like this, and he's now taking on smart meters. And he has looked at the fact that there are many, many design flaws that break the U.S. National Electrical Safety Code. And he is starting a lawsuit. This is the type of thing that has to be done, and it can only be done by someone who has the money, the expertise, and the time to do it. I wish we had some lawyers here who were retired or who were concerned enough about what's going on, who could take this on. We could raise money enough to pay for disbursements and things like that, but, lawyers' fees become prohibitive. And so it would take a very dedicated person, but this person in Seattle is dedicated. He's written a very long document outlining everything that has been told that's incorrect, the additional costs, the problems with the cybersecurity, the fact that the life expectancy is so short, but and also the fact that they emit radiation that is very dangerous. That's one of his hot spots. But the big one is they cause fires. These things have design flaws. They have no surge suppressors. They have no fuses. And they cause fires. And a prime example, Jim, in fact, there are many of them, but one that happened in December in Slocum Valley, BC, is that there was a power surge. Power outage due to the weather. When it came back on, many, many homes had appliances blown, TVs blown, computers destroyed, sides of homes burned, and Fortis is calling it an act of God. This has not happened with an analog meter. This smart meters are not grounded and they're not fused. Another one happened just on April 17th in Stittsville, Ontario, which is near Ottawa. They had the exact same thing happen. A tree branch fell on a power line and appliances. I mean, the families are incurring thousands and thousands of dollars of damage. And Fortis and all the other utilities are saying, it's not our problem, it's yours. There have been one, Summerland, BC, I think it was 2 winters ago. Smart meters exploded and blew feet or yards off homes. If somebody had been standing there, they could have been killed. The power is so strong. Homes burned and were damaged. Appliances were damaged. Same thing happened in Stockton, California, Palo Alto, California, several times down in Florida. They go on and on and on. And the analogs do not do this. There was a very striking example in Palo Alto, California. Half the city had smart meters, half the city had analogs. They were in the process of turning over. The power outage occurred, and there were dozens of homes that sustained damages, dozens of smart meters that exploded or blew off homes. Not one analog was damaged. Not one home with an analog was damaged. And Hydro, Fortis, consistently refused to pay any damages. And so it's up to you to fight with the utility company or to go to your insurance company. And as we know, the insurance company will pay it. They will then subrogate against the utility company. They won't be out anything, and your premiums will increase. It's unfair, and this is happening again and again. And the people in Silicon Valley are fighting it. They are fighting Fortis, and there are some people there who sustained $10,000 worth of damages in their home.
We'll have more. We're Sharon Noble right after the break.
Hi, I'm Douglas Mason, President and CEO of Magnum Gold Corp. Inc., MGI on the TSX Venture Exchange. A 2015 drill program on the LH property intersected high-grade gold, including 16.9 meters of 13.58 grams and 11 meters of 20.66 grams per ton gold. A follow-up drill program is planned to further evaluate previously identified subsurface high-grade gold mineralization. Please visit our website at magnumgoldcorp.com.
MGX Minerals is revolutionizing the new energy economy with patented lithium extraction technology, replacing traditional solar evaporation using low-cost, low-energy nanofiltration. The first system of this paradigm shift technology is currently being commissioned. MGX Minerals trades on the CSE, symbol XMG, the OTCQB, symbol MGXMF, and Frankfurt, symbol 1MG. For more information, visit our website, mgxminerals.com.
Welcome back. We're speaking with Sharon Noble. Sharon, you're talking about a cluster of cancer. We've talked about those before, but now it's eye cancers, and what do they seem to be connected to?
These are called ocular melanomas, and it's extremely rare. This is a type of cancer that some doctors never see. And there's a recent cluster in Huntersville, North Carolina. It's about a 2-hour drive from Raleigh. And another cluster in Alabama, and I'm sorry, I don't have the location. The ones in Hunterville, there have been 18 cases in a very small area, within just a couple of miles of each other. And some are even in homes where it happened before, where someone died from it, and the next person who moved in got it too. And there have been studies. Nobody seems to be able to figure out what's going on. They suspect it's something associated with microwave radiation. And yesterday I found a report where some experts, some retired engineers, and some people with some very good meters went out there and spent quite some time, and they found that there was a radar station a few miles away that emits a very, very strong signal. And it's close to the ground because it's looking for weather problems, and they're also directing in planes. And this radar signal reflects off anything metal or hard. And they found that there were some cell towers in these neighborhoods, and the radar microwave radiation was reflecting off and being amplified. And they believe that these people were in the line of some of the bounced beams. This is still being investigated, but I would encourage anybody who lives near the water or near an airport to find out where the nearest radar station is. Because this is the type of thing where, we don't know about it. Unless you look, you won't find it. And this is also the type of thing where it's not being tracked. The Cancer Society, I did a search for ocular melanomas in British Columbia and couldn't find anything. I bet they're happening. This is the type of thing where it's a brand new type of cancer. And right now it appears, I can't say I know anything more than it appears that it's related to the radar station. But you don't get cancer clusters like this. You don't get unusual cancer clusters like this without there being something environmental involved. And if you can see a radar station and map it, do a graphing of it, and see where the beams are, and it's in the same area where the cluster's occurring, that seems to be more than a coincidence.
What can people do if they suspect something like that?
I don't know. I guess the quickest answer is to say move, but at this particular point, the government is not doing anything. As you know from all my complaints, Jim, we've been complaining to the government about microwave radiation and the dangers of all these wireless devices for such a long time. And the government is ignoring it. There was a very interesting article in the Times Colonist a couple of weeks ago. In fact, it was on April 22nd, by a professor of public health. His name is Dr. Trevor Hancock. And he teaches at the University of Victoria Public Health Department. And he wrote an article. He writes quite often, and his articles are really interesting. This one grabbed my attention, though. The title was, Public Health is Biased, and You Should Be Glad. And it says that the public health officials, like Perry Kendall, like the various public health officials who, the island health authorities and things like this, are duty-bound to protect you. They are duty-bound to follow the precautionary principle. And the precautionary principle says, in essence, that if there is a suspicion that something is dangerous, you protect the public. You do whatever you need to do to protect the public. The public shouldn't have to prove it's dangerous. If there's enough studies here showing that cell phones are dangerous, the public health officials should be demanding, at the minimum, that people be warned, that there should be labels on the phones. At the minimum, they should not be promoting Wi-Fi in schools. They should be saying that there is a reason for concern, and the most vulnerable, our children, should not be exposed to it. But they're not doing it. And this article went on to say that, of course, all the public health officials are doing this. This is their job. I wrote to him and said, I'm sorry, you're an idealist, and I wish you were right. But the public health officials in British Columbia are not doing that, and neither are the public health officials in Health Canada. For years now, for 13 years, I personally have been writing to these people, and I'm sure that there are others who have been writing even for a longer period of time, asking them to help protect us from wireless radiation. Don't force us to have smart meters on our homes. Don't force us to live with Zigbee chips in our televisions, in our smart meters that are zapping us through our homes 24/7. Don't force our children to sit in schoolrooms just feet from a strong Wi-Fi modem. And they do nothing. Perry Kendall should be ashamed. He's retired now, but I hold him responsible. For years, he has allowed the Cancer Society on their website to say things like, there is no evidence that these things are harmful. There is no convincing evidence. I confronted Barry Kendall a few years ago, maybe 6 or 7 years ago, when the Public Health Department opened at the University of British Columbia here in Victoria, University of Victoria. He gave a speech at the opening event. I was hoping he would take questions. He didn't. Afterwards, there were a lot of people around him congratulating him and everything, and when there was a moment, I asked him, in front of public health officials around there, I said, Mr. Kendall, Dr. Kendall, why will you not implement the precautionary principle, at least as far as Wi-Fi in schools is concerned? The evidence shows that children are being harmed. He looked at me and said, when there is proof of harm, I will take action. And the people there were shocked. I could tell by the looks on their faces. And I was shocked because this is completely counter to the precautionary principle. If you have proof, you don't have to take a precautionary principle. If there's proof, you stop it. The precautionary principle applies if there is evidence of harm. You don't wait for the proof. You take action before the proof is there. And one of the health officials who was standing there, I was standing shocked as Kendall walked away. I didn't really know what to say. And he came over to me and he apologized. He said, I don't understand why he said that. That's not accurate. Obviously, he didn't understand your question. Yes, he did understand my question. He said this time and time again to me and to many others, that there is no convincing evidence, there's no convincing proof of harm. Therefore, he doesn't have to do anything. And I want to know whether our new public health officer, Dr. Bonnie Henry, who has worked for Dr. Kendall for many years, what her stance is. Is she willing to look at the evidence and do her job as Dr. Trevor Hancock says she should? If so, we will have the smart meters removed from our home, and we will have Wi-Fi removed from the schools, and we will have labels on cell phones at the very least.
We'll have more with Sharon Noble right after this.
Vatic Ventures Corp. is a potash exploration company focused on the Korat Basin in Thailand, the world's largest undeveloped potash resource. Vatic's management has extensive potash exploration and development experience in Thailand. Vatic will have marketing advantage compared to Western producers. Drill program commences this spring. Vatic trades on the TSX Venture, symbol VCV, and on Frankfurt, symbol V8V2. Visit our website, vaticventures.com.
Don't miss out. Stay informed. Receive the HowStreet.com weekly recap with thought-provoking podcasts, radio, and articles delivered to your inbox. Sign up for the HowStreet.com weekly recap on our homepage at HowStreet.com.
Welcome back. We're speaking with Sharon Noble. Sharon, you have concerns about LEDs and CFLs?
Light bulbs, yes. This isn't anything new. But people, there are some studies now confirming that, they're even more dangerous than we thought. CFL light bulbs, emit a radiation, a micro type of radiation that many people are affected by. People who are sensitive break out with rashes, can suffer migraines. Also, of course, CFL light bulbs have mercury in them, but they also flicker, and they cause a lot of neurological problems. LED light bulbs have blue light, which is very, very bad. And the science is coming out showing that blue light might be even more serious than we thought it is. The light spectrum is a natural light spectrum, like from the sun. LED light bulbs and some of the other devices like computer screens and television screens have a higher level of blue light than is normal. And this blue light does all sorts of things. For instance, it reduces the melatonin production. that allows you to sleep well. So people who are using their computers at night should put a filter on their screen. They can download a program that takes the blue light out. It makes the screen a little bit red. It's not really noticeable, but it doesn't hurt your eyes. You can also put that on your iPhone screen, which you shouldn't be looking at anyhow. But LED light bulbs aren't toned down. They have a very, very strong blue light. Not only does it affect your melatonin, but it causes harm to your eyes. There are cases now showing that it can contribute to all sorts of eye damage, cataracts, and things like that. And also, there is a new study that I shared this week that showed that LED and high blue emitting devices can cause cancers. Especially breast cancer and prostate cancer seem to be linked to them. Now, this is still being studied, but many, many scientists now for a long time are saying there are so many problems with blue light. Don't use anything with blue light if you don't have to. And LED light bulbs may use less electricity, but they're not good for you. It's the good old incandescent bulbs that we should be using. And unfortunately, the industry doesn't want us to do that. They say it uses less electricity, but incandescent bulbs don't really use all that much more electricity, and they are very beneficial. So I'm hoping people will look at their CFL light bulbs, try to get rid of them, and their LED light bulbs. And also, don't look at your computer screens at night. Put a screen on it if you have to. That would make it a whole lot better for your health.
Sharon, you also have concerns about the growing prevalence of wireless charging.
Oh, yeah.
What's happening there?
Well, I must admit, I don't know a whole lot about it. I've read that document that I shared several times, and it's kind of beyond me. But it appears that what's happening, they're coming up with a method where you don't even have to plug anything in to charge it. It's going to be going through the air, which means that these charges can, in fact, what the article says, they can charge your phone through walls without having to charge it, without having to plug it in. This means that you're going to be exposed to higher and higher levels of microwave radiation just so you don't have to plug in your charger. I mean, some of these things, Jim, just don't make any sense. It's like putting a Zigbee chip or an RFID chip in a diaper so that you're notified when your baby's diaper's wet. I mean, some of these things are just beyond crazy to me. And this is one of them. So that you can charge your things without having to plug it in, and the radiation levels are just going to be shooting through the house, through the businesses, wherever you are. It's becoming so that there's not going to be a place of safety. And people who are sensitive to this, their lives are going to be made even more miserable.
It'll be like living in an open-air microwave oven.
Oh, yeah, that's a good description. Yeah, it will.
Because I know one of the ways you can find out if you have a leaky microwave oven is to get a small fluorescent light and hold it in front of it. If it lights up, your microwave is leaking.
Yep. Or put I'll put your phone in there, and if you can call your cell phone.
Well, I know sometimes if I put my cell phone near my speakers make weird noises.
Yeah. Well, wireless devices interfere with themselves, and with each other.
Yeah.
I live near some very powerful antenna, and sometimes I can't use my telephone. And I have a landline, but the signals are so strong that they interfere with everything. I've got neighbors who can't use their electric beds. The interference is there, and we don't, it's invisible. You can't see it, you can't taste it, and usually you can't hear it, and so you ignore it. But this stuff is there, it's increasing, it's pervasive, and it's dangerous. And my goal is, as you know, and it's your goal too, is to educate people about this as much as possible. Because it's only when we have enough people to have a loud voice that the government's going to listen to us. Right now they're ignoring us. And they're ignoring us at our peril.
Sharon, there's also a webinar you wanted to tell people about?
It's May 9th at 11 o'clock PST, and it's free. And the website, well, it's by healthandenvironment.org/webinars. And if they go on to the healthandenvironment.org website, I'm sure it's there. And you can register, and it's completely free. And they're going to have professors, engineers, all sorts of people talking about microwave radiation, health concerns, and all sorts of different topics. It sounds like an excellent webinar. I'm sorry?
A webinar about EMF?
Yes, let me just get the date. It's on May 12th. I'm sorry, Jim, I don't have it right in front of me. Do you have the information in front of you?
No, I don't. It's okay, I can cut that out.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't have it there. It's on May 12th, though, and I think it's at 11 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
But, no, I'm sorry.
Sharon, is there a website people can go to find out more about these issues?
They sure can, Jim. It's www.stopsmartmetersbc.com.
My guest has been Sharon Noble, Director of the BC Coalition to Stop Smart Meters. You're listening to the Goddard Report on TalkDigitalNetwork.com. If you have any questions for the show or our guests, you can send them to info@howstreet.com. I'm Jim Goddard. Thanks for listening.
Comments made on the Goddard Report and TalkDigitalNetwork.com are an expression of opinion only. The Goddard Report is available online and mobile at TalkDigitalNetwork.com. The Goddard Report is a production of How Street Media Incorporated.